righty. We are digging back into our May bingo activity. Again, if you don't have a bingo card, you can throw it in the comments section or in the chat. Good morning, Kimberly. And there's prizes. So if you win bingo, with either the first one to turn in a line, which is 5 items marked off the list. Or if you get a blackout, there will be prizes awarded to the first person who gets both of those. Today, we are diving into business to business because, let's see here. Receive, let's see. I'm just looking for, I don't remember if there was something that received a lender referral. So that would be a business to business. Conventional lead from Instagram. Let's see here. Completed an educational course, showed 2 homes, coffee with a client. This really is just another means for gaining clients. So as you look at that list, when it's like worked with a conventional, worked with USDA, worked with VA, worked with FHA, right? Closed with the same title, right? All those, we just need a number of clients closing so that we can make that happen. Business to business is a great way to do that. And we're using bingo as an opportunity to address that. So I feel like this is one of the most underutilized methods of lead generation that exists. Okay. Personal opinion there. So, as always, I'm just going to mention this now in case you haven't heard me say this before, but you should really have 5 methods of lead generation. The first one should be your database. There's several spaces on that bingo card that refer to database, from having coffee with a client to all sorts of good things in there. So keep in mind, first one's always the database. Dig into your database first. Those people know you, love you, trust you. That's where we want to start. Second is leads from listings. You should be generating, right? My goal, at least personal goals, every listing I have, I get 3 leads that are going to turn into deals. So today we're going to talk about business to business, another way to generate leads so you can mark off those boxes on that bingo card. As always, if you have questions, feel free to just unmute yourself and interrupt me. You can also raise your little Zoomy hand, or you can throw it in the chat box. I have that open as well. There we go. Let's see here. Oh, so we just talked about this. Database first, leads from listings next. 3 additional methods. I guess I didn't really dive into that, right? 5 methods, 3 additional. So that, so business leads could be one, right? Business to business could be one form of lead gen that you're working on, your farm, your, we talked about social media earlier this week. So there's so many ways to generate leads. We've talked about cold calling. We've talked about for sale by owners. You could dive into expireds, right? So many options for lead gen. But I really want you to focus in on 3 outside of your database and leads from listings. The reason being is that if you do 20 different methods, you're never going to do any of them well. And when we talk about like database, leads from listings, and then 3 additional, I really ultimately the goal is that you take one and you focus in on it, you perfect it, you master it, you have your systems and processes in place before you move forward to the next method. So we've always kind of got those 3 working, but one is the one that we're really focusing on, developing those systems and processes, starting to get results from that. And then we're going to move on to our next one to master. So master your database, master your methods for leads from listings, then move on to the additional methods as well. In addition to that, just a reminder that you should be tracking every action so that you know how much time and money you're spending and what actions you are actually doing, right? So if my lead generation method is database, I should be checking and tracking the number of numbers dialed, right? Number of text messages sent, number of emails sent, number of messages left, number of conversations I'm having. What responses am I getting, right? And how many transactions are the results of those actions? And then every few weeks, like every 12 weeks or once per quarter, you want to be reviewing your stats and making sure your efforts are paying off, right? So that would give you the ability then to pivot and change what you're doing, change up the method, or maybe you realize that you are doing the actions, right? but you're just not getting results. So then it becomes a conversation of what do we need to change? Like you're like, Amy, I've been digging into my database, making my phone calls, but I haven't gotten any transactions or referrals. Then my question might be to you, okay, well, are you asking for business? Right? Are you saying, hey, who do you know that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Hey, what are your real estate plans for this year? Right? Are we asking those questions in order to get the results? Because if we're just having conversations about how their dinner was last night, then we probably aren't going to lead to results. So just throwing that out there. So if we review it, we don't want to review it necessarily. We want to be tracking all the time every week. We want to be looking back at those and making sure that we're doing the actions. But once we're doing the actions, even if we're not getting results, we don't want to pivot and change right away to something else because it takes time to see results. Okay, so keep that in mind. Usually it's kind of like a 90-day turnaround in real estate. 60 to 90 days. What we do today, we'll start seeing the results of in 60 to 90 days, which is why I say don't review it for about 12 weeks or once per quarter, as long as you're doing the actions. If we're looking back on what we're tracking and realize that we were supposed to talk to 25 people this week and we talked to 2, then we need to make changes for the next week just to step up our game and do the actions. All right. So let's talk about lead generating using business to business relationships. Okay, business to business relationships are relationships that you create and maintain with business owners for the key purpose of generating referral leads from that business. Okay, the relationship should be mutually beneficial, meaning you should be referring your database to them and they should be referring their database or their business to you. Okay. In addition, you want to make sure that you are adding value to their business. You should be helping promote their business. And in addition, the relationship should add value to your business. Okay. We don't want to create business to business relationships with people that we don't trust or businesses we don't like or right? Because we want to be referring them to our database. So we want to make sure that we trust them. We appreciate the product or service that they offer and the level of service that they offer the clients. Okay. You're creating a list of trusted referral partners for your database to use. So because you want to be the local go-to for all things someone may need help with. Okay, so who can be your business to business referral partners? There is no wrong answer here. You can go hair salons, dentists, doctors, home service providers like contractors, plumbers, HVAC, pet services, right? Like vets, groomers, gyms, financial planners, insurance agents. No one is off the table, right? Anybody. I would recommend that when you start with business to business relationships, that you dive into businesses that you already do business with, right? You already know and trust these businesses and you're already giving them your business and probably referring people to them. So it makes sense that now we're asking for that reciprocal partnership. Okay. In addition, you can start expanding your businesses, you can expand to businesses that your clients often ask for recommendations for. So, right. So I would start with the people that I already do business with that I know, right? Then I would expand that by what are my clients always asking me for? Plumbers, electricians, right? Usually these are house type things. Or even services that potential sellers might need. People like stagers, contractors, handymen, remodel service. Okay. So, right. So start with people you already do business with, and then people your clients are asking for referrals on. Then I would go to what do my sellers need when getting ready to sell their house or in the home selling process, right? Movers. Then I would move to businesses that my buyers might need to utilize, like inspectors, insurance agents, cleaners, right? Those types of people. Then the next kind of business that I might target is looking at new businesses opening their doors in the area where you do business because they are hungry for business. Their survival depends on people walking through their door. So if you can walk in there and be like, hey, I've got a database of 400 people, I would like to create a relationship. So if I'm referring people to you as a business, are you willing to refer them to me if they need to sell a house or buy a house? Right? So new businesses. Okay. But again, anybody, anywhere in your local service area is a great business to business relationship. Okay. The goal here is that you're going to grow your business as they grow theirs. Okay. So we want to help, and we also want to be able to provide our existing clients with a vendor list. So here is a great script for those businesses that you have done business with. Okay. You can call them up. You can go in if you know the business owner, right? You're going to find out who that business owner is and talk with them. You're going to be like, hey, business owner, I'm Amy with Realty One Group Fox. I'm in the process of creating a list of preferred businesses and service providers to give to my clients. Since I frequently have clients ask me for good landscapers, right? Whatever their business is, and I only want trusted companies to refer them to. Since I have had excellent service from you, would you and your business be interested in being included on that list? And they're going to be like, yeah, absolutely, right? Why would anybody say no? No, please, I don't want any new clients, right? Nobody's going to say that. Great. I like to establish these professional referral partnerships to help grow each other's businesses as well. So if I'm going to refer clients to you, right? If I'm going to put you in front of my database of 400 people, or I'm going to promote you to my farm where I'm knocking on, 450 doors each month, would you be willing to refer your clients that are looking to buy or sell a home to me with the assurance that I will provide them with the high level of customer service that you expect? Right? Makes sense. If they say yes, then you're gonna be like, excellent. How about we confirm each other's contact information so that we can get started? Right? Super simple script. Just, hey, I'm creating this list. Would you like to be on it? Right? We're already getting their buy-in. We're getting them to say yes. So that when we go to the next question, the logical answer becomes yes as well. And then we're asking for that referral partnership. Now, there's also a script for businesses that you haven't done business with. It's very similar to that first script, right? You're going to be like, hi, business owner. I'm Amy with Realty One Group Fox. I'm in the process of creating a list of preferred businesses and service providers to give to my clients. Since I frequently have clients asking me for a good groomer, right, or car detailer, I'm looking for a trusted company to refer them to. I've heard great things about your company. Would you and your business be interested in being included on that list? Right? So we're saying, hey, we're looking for. So the first one was, hey, I already trust you. I know what kind of service you provide. This one is, I'm looking for someone. I've heard great things. Great. I like to establish these professional partnerships to help grow each other's businesses as well. So if I'm going to refer clients to you, would you be willing to refer your clients that are looking to buy or sell a home to me with the assurance that I will provide them with a high level of customer service that you expect? Right? Excellent. How about we confirm each other's contact information so that we can get started? Super simple. Anybody have questions about those scripts? All right. Fabulous. We want to set expectations as well. So you might make it, right? If we're going to refer their business to your database of 200 plus customers, right? Whatever you've got in that database or farm or whoever you're talking with, we want to set the expectation that you're going to get at least one referral from them per year. Okay. You need to make sure that you're going to add them to your database as well. So, right. So it's, hey, also, just so we're on the same page, I'm putting you in front of my entire database on a regular basis. Okay. In addition, you could even talk with him about the fact that you interview all of your business partners, right? Or whatever it might be. We'll talk about that in a minute. But right, we're going to get you in front of all these people. I am certain that my clients will also, or my database will also come to your business because I am promoting you. In exchange for that, what I'm going to expect is at least to remain on that list, okay, as one of my top referral partners or one of my top businesses, that you send me at least one referral per year. Does that seem reasonable to you? And what this does too, right, is this sets it up that They may have other agents that they know or other relationships with other agents, but everybody wants to grow their business. And if you're like, hey, I don't need every single person that walks through the door that you know that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, don't get me wrong, we would all like that. But if you could just refer one person to me each year, do you think you could do that to stay on the list? Okay, if you had 40 business partners on your list and we all have an agreement that this is how it's going to operate, could you handle 40 transactions? Right? Super simple. Okay. So in addition to that, make sure you get that agreement. You may even have right, draw up. You can use Chat GPT to help you with this, but you could draw up just a vendor agreement that easily just states, hey, to remain on the vendor list, which gets reviewed every, whatever your annual review time is. Um, you must send one referral to agent to remain on the list, right? And then have everybody sign that. Super simple. It should sound better than that. Use Chat GTP. It'll help you draw up that agreement. But anyways, you also want to make sure you're adding all of these businesses to your database. You want to tag them appropriately. Remember, we talked about that when we talked about the database, all the different ways that you should tag so that you can make sure that you can easily sort and find people. And you want to put these people on, all these owners, on a 30 plus to connect plan. Okay. It's probably going to be a little different than your regular check-ins. Okay. When we call them to check in with them on a quarterly basis, we want to ask them how business is going. Okay. Have they had more? Has there been an increase? Have they seen people come in? Do they track where people hear about them? Right? But we want to check in with them and see how business is going. Let them know during that phone call as well what steps you've done to promote their business. And you want to ask them if there's something you can do for them to help them grow their business. Okay. And then as always, anytime we have a phone conversation or a conversation with someone, we want to ask them who they know that wants to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. Okay. If they do refer somebody to you, or when they do refer somebody to them, keep them updated and maybe even reward that behavior with a token of appreciation. Okay. Just some things to think about. Now, you can also get things from them, like you could promote their business by offering like a monthly coupon or a weekly coupon or, whatever it might be. You can ask them if they've had coupons come in, if you had something like that going with them. But the phone call each year, number one, we want to have that agreement in place that they've agreed to send you at least one referral per year. Number two, when we do our quarterly check-ins with everybody in our database, when we hit these business owners, we want to be asking them how their business is going, and what you can do to help them grow their business. Okay, we want to become partners with them. Okay, you want to have your business partners or the businesses on a vendor list, which makes it easily able to share it with people that need recommendations. There's lots of services. You could just have it like on a Google Sheets. You could have a PDF document that you print up and show people. I personally like Google Sheets or like Live Easy, okay, that we have access to through Realty One Group, because it's alive. It's a live flowing sheet. So if somebody asks for a referral today for a contractor, they don't necessarily have to come back to me today or next month for a referral for a landscaper, right? They can just pull it up and look at it. As well as if somebody has fallen out of good graces, if we get complaints from one of our clients that, oh my gosh, I use this I just want to let you know, Adriana, that I used that landscaper you recommended. And man, they just were really rude to me and they weren't helpful or whatever. Like I just didn't get a good level of service from them. We can remove them from the list. Okay. I probably wouldn't do it after one negative thing unless it was just like an atrocious item. But absolutely, we don't want to keep people on there that are giving our customers bad service. We may even want to call up that vendor and say, hey, just so you know, I talked with Joe and Joe was just really upset about what took place. Can you explain to me what happened? Because I know there's two sides to every story and sometimes people get upset about stuff that like really isn't worth getting upset about. So can you tell me what happened as far as your side of the story? Oh yeah, that totally makes sense. All right, well, just so you know, I really value our partnership. You've given really good level of service previously, right? But just so you know, if we continue to get bad feedback, we're going to have to remove you from the vendor list, but that's not my goal, right? So we want to have those conversations with them. Okay, if we had like a PDF list that we're sending out to people, then what happens is if we add or remove people, people are going to have an old list at all times and it's not going to be updated. So that's why I like to have something that where I can share like the link for Google Sheets or the Live Easy site because we can add and take people away from that all the time and it's always updated. All right. You might want to create or join into a business networking group, right? Groups where business owners come together on a monthly basis or bi-monthly or whatever, bi-weekly. They usually have an educational portion as well as an expectation to share referrals within the members. So you could start your own business networking group, or you could make if you did that, if you created your own, you could make it like an open group where any business owners can come in and go as they please. Or you could also create like an exclusive group where you approve members and only like one from each business type is allowed. You would help facilitate referrals between members, bring in speakers to add value where they're learning and growing. So that those business owners feel like it's worthwhile to continue to show up. Okay. On an exclusive group, you could set the expectations that members refer to another member at least once per month or once per year or once per quarter to each member, right? So you can kind of set those expectations about what it takes to stay in the group. Um, and there's lots of different, like BNI is one. So there's lots of groups that already exist in the area. A couple of things that I would keep in mind if you're creating your own group or joining a group. Some of our business networking groups have a lot of multi-level marketing companies in them, which I have nothing against multi-level marketing. Okay, it's a really great way to make some great income. They offer great services. A lot of things I order are from multi-level marketing, like Norwix, right? That's multi-level marketing. That being said, oftentimes those companies are those people that have multi-level marketing. They have people from around the country, not necessarily just in the area as far as customers, so their database may not apply to you as much. And oftentimes they're really small. They aren't actually, they've got like, 10 people in their customer database versus like an insurance agent or a brick and mortar retail business in the area. So just keep that in mind when you're looking for a group to join or you're getting ready to start your own. We may just want to limit the number of those type of companies in there or look for one that doesn't have a whole lot. Like we want like actual businesses with big customer databases. Okay. That being said, if you were going to start your own and you wanted to look for something to help them grow their business, most businesses don't have their own database or know how to interact with their database. So that's always a good topic that you could bring in to help educate them on. All right, so moving forward with some ways to level up for your business to business. You could feature those businesses in your newsletter. Okay, you could conduct social media spotlights or live interviews for those businesses, right? Help just to get you out there more as like the agent who is the area expert, who has connections with business owners. It helps those businesses to grow their business. You can include them in marketing materials and you could provide co-sponsorship opportunities for like your events. So when we talked about databases, we talked about like, hey, you should be hosting a couple events per year, happy hours, movies in the park, movie night out, national night out, right? All these things. You could lean on your other business owners to help you co-sponsor those events or, right, include them in marketing materials. Like if I have a farm or send out a newsletter, right? I might want to include a coupon, like maybe each month a different company is featured in your handouts that you take to your farm or in your newsletter. And maybe they include like a coupon and maybe they even help with the cost of those items, right? So it can be a real partnership. If I'm promoting the business specifically, looking to get people through their door, they can help pay and handle that cost. So now we've just reduced our costs by providing co-sponsorship opportunities and helping them helping us with our marketing materials because they're being included. All right. Any questions so far about those items? Oh, I have business cards on the slide as well. One of the things that I thought was really cool, I had a coaching client one time who who had a farm, and they thought it would be a great idea to each month do like different business cards with their information on one side and the business coupon on the other side. And why do I really like this idea? I think it's fabulous. Number one, business cards fit in people's wallets. Number two, a coupon for a business, a local business, makes them want to keep that information. So if they're hanging on to that coupon for the local business, they're also holding on to your information as well. So I think that's a great way to do like a coupon. Business cards aren't that expensive, right? We don't have to do like the like softest feel. We can just do like the cheapest, whatever version of that business card is. So you could probably get, 500 of those printed if you're going to go like door knock a farm or mail them out to your database. Okay. Anyways, you could probably get it for like under $100. Okay. Side note, right? Just thinking about this. What if like once a quarter, remember how we're supposed to like get things in our databases mailboxes? What if once a quarter you send out like a three for or like multiple businesses, like 5 business coupons to them with those business cards, right? Maybe it's got different items on there. How cool would that be? Do you think your clients would look forward to getting, or your database would look forward to getting mail from you once a quarter? If it included like coupons or freebies or something at local businesses, they would look forward to that. And every quarter you switch it up to 5 new local businesses. That would be so cool. Anyways, new idea. Just throwing that out there. Super fun. All right. And again, that could be those 5 businesses help share the cost of those business cards where, you don't even have to foot the bill for anything necessarily. Okay. You could just split the cost between those 5 businesses. You're the one getting it out to your database. Now it's free to send stuff to your database, include the cost to mail them as well. All right. Just throwing that out there. All right, some additional ways to level up. As I already mentioned, work with business owners to get specials or coupons, print them on business card sized material featuring those local business and your branding. You can hand those out at open houses. Okay, mail them out to your database as we talked about, pass them out at your farm. We already talked about the benefit for that and making people hold on to them longer. You can also include referral partners in your client appreciation events, encourage them to invite their customers, which then allows you to grow your database with their customers. And you can put those people on the 12x1 and the 8x8 and the 19 to connect. Another idea is to organize community events featuring multiple local businesses, right? Sky is the limit. Make sure that you're tracking referrals. Reward those top business partners that are sending referrals. And then maybe for one event, you offer a free sponsorship space for your top referral partner. Okay. Or maybe you send them on a weekend getaway or a consultation with like a zero-based tax professional or another professional. It would benefit their business. Like make it something cool if they're your top referring business, because you're making thousands of dollars from those referrals. So making it fun, doing a raffle, drawing, top referring partner gets this, whatever it might be. Make it fun, make it worthwhile. Also, I would make sure that you join and engage with the local Chamber of Commerce. Attend those ribbon cutting ceremonies and build relationships with those new business owners. Okay. It doesn't cost, it's not a big obligation to join the Chamber of Commerce. So do that, especially if you've got business to business referrals as part of your lead generation strategy. Okay. If this is a method, a lead gen method that you're going to employ, some of the action steps that you may want to do might be to identify 5 businesses to reach out to this week, right? Start the process. Make sure you're practicing and committing to memory the referral scripts that we talked about earlier. You may want to personalize it, but don't make too many changes. It's pretty good as it is, and it's been proven to work. And then make sure you set up your digital vendor list. So whether you're using like Google Sheets or Live Easy, whatever it might be, choose the platform or how you're going to keep track of all of the vendors and start setting that up. And then also work to build your touch points for a business owner specific 30 plus touch campaign. That's going to include those phone calls, emails, and networking opportunities. Okay. In addition, build out a weekly rhythm. What day will you do interviews for business owners? What day, what we'll use to edit and clean up the interview. Is there a software or a system? Are you just going to go live and let it flow however it happens? Where are you going to post or share those interviews? What day of the week are you going to call new partners to talk to them, to create those relationships? When are you going to order new co-branded coupon cards, right? And when do you visit and stock business cards, right? We could ask these business owners if it's okay to leave some cards behind. So when are we going to go through and visit those businesses to make sure they still have business cards? You want to make sure to take time to map it all out, right? This goes back to the creating systems and processes around each thing that you do. So make sure you take the time to do that. Business to business lead generation, as I mentioned, is a powerful and often underutilized tool by real estate agents. So by fostering strong relationships with local businesses, you can build that steady stream of referrals, build your database, provide additional value to your existing clients, and position yourself as the go-to community experts. Any questions or ahas from today's lesson? All right. Fabulous. I hope this was helpful, everyone. We are continuing this series next week. I don't know what we're covering next week, though. So stay tuned. Tune in Monday at 9 a.m. It's the same link. We'll be back here going over some new information, ways to help you fill out those bingo cards and ultimately have success in real estate. So thank you, everyone. We will see you next week. Have a great day. You are welcome, Iris.